G'day viewers, my name is Michael and welcome back to Single Racer. Now I don't like to play favourites, but I think those of you that are my long-term subscribers know that my favourite channel still, probably along with Sim Racing 604, is Alex over at the Extra Mile. And that was probably made even more so by the fact that I got to watch him through his videos move from his old recording or his original recording place into this new studio and got to watch the development of this new studio and his new recording area. And you know, I've enjoyed all his videos right up to this very point now. But what has this got to do with today's video? Well, essentially because I feel that I'm weakest in two particular areas. The other one is that I've talked about often, which is I don't feel that I'm a very good F1 driver. I feel I can be fast in an F1 car, but I can't get my head around the DRS or whatever it's called, you know, all those electronic contraptions they've got to deal with in today's modern F1. But arguably my weakest genre of driving is definitely drifting. I've never been a good drifter. Now, if you check out here, Alex actually has an old series. It's 7 dedicated videos, and I'll show you here in his dedicated playlist on how to drift. But arguably my weakest genre of driving is definitely drifting. I've just never been a good drifter. Now, this is as opposed to power sliding, which to me is slightly different. So I've always felt that I've been a reasonably good power slider, but that's probably only because with the types of games that Alex and I used to play, so games like Grand Prix Legends and GT Legends, they were slidey cars. To get them under control, you had to be able to do a 4-wheel power slide and keep them under control. But drifting is more about being on that very edge where the car almost wants to let go, and that has never been a good skill of mine. But as a so-called alert sim racing creator, you always stay in touch with what other channels are doing, and it's those two events that kind of come together for this video. So the first one was a few videos back where I did a Ferrari Man 601 challenge, and I essentially titled the video just about having fun, that I could never match Ferrari Man in skill, but it was just about enjoying it. And then two other favorite channels, that is one of the best drifters I feel, at least that I know of. Now admittedly I don't follow a lot of drifting channels, but a channel called Gopherchucks is a drifting channel, like he's just amazing. And also one of my favourite channels, Magic, who just in that let's have fun kind of mode, just wanted to have a go and see how he did at trying to drift, with Gopherchucks giving him a few tips along the way. But then the final piece of the puzzle fell into place when I was watching one of Gopherchucks' videos, and he featured this car here, an incredible looking car called the BMW E36 M458, and what a drift machine it is. Now just take a close look at this motor, just absolutely incredible looking car. At least I've always had an affinity or an appeal for engines sticking out of the bonnet. Just love the look of it. But so I asked him if I could download it, and sure enough I could, and I thought I just got to give it a go, just like Magic. Now I'm not a good drifter, so what I'll do is I'll start this video off with, this is 2 laps of a failed attempt at drifting. And what I mean by failed attempt is just my goal was just simply to do 1 lap trying to drift with but keeping in the bounds of RSR, so to do a full hot lap on RSR to qualify for RSR and not go out of bounds. So here is my first 2 hopeless attempts, just for a bit of fun. But the track I want to feature is actually not a drift track, but if you haven't heard of it, there are 2 versions of this track. Now the second one might be even better for drifting because it has a little horseshoe shaped part to it. but it's called Modena. It's available on Race Department, and of course I'll have the link to both the car and the track in the description. But it's a racetrack that I feel is very good for drifting. So Gopherchucks, if you're watching the video, or Alex, if you like the look of this car, please give it a go, or give the track a go. It is, I think, fantastic for drifting, but one thing that I'm really bad at, that is covered by Alex in one of his 7 tutorials, that I just can't get the hang of, is what's called transition. So where you've got 2 corners, a left and a right, a right and a left, and it's swinging the car around one corner, but then immediately trying to swing the car in the opposite direction, and I'm just not good at that. And what you'll see here in the first video is that I know I should do the old rally thing of you know, like swinging the wheel to one side to get it drift to the other, but I'm ploughing through the corners, so I still got to learn how to set up the car to get that initial drift early on in the corner, and I tend to over plough into the corner and just basically understeer through it. So I did do one successful lap, so I hope to show you some highlights of that lap. So if you like the car or like the look of the track, consider downloading them in the description. But let's check out now my more successful attempt, although I still warn you, this is still pretty bad. But I hope you enjoy it. This is Michael signing out for Single Racer. I'll catch you next time. See you later, and let's go drifting.